in Cleveland. The Angels have dropped the first two games against the Indians, and today they try to salvage the finale. It's the final game here at Progressive Field. As we welcome you inside this beautiful ballpark and back to Angels baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and while the Angels offense continues to sputter along, a lot has been made about Mike Trout and the injury that he suffered on July 26th when he rolled his wrist. Now, he says that he is fine. It's not bothering him, but it just happens to coincide now with the fact he's having his worst month of his career.
Yeah, and you can see the pitchers are pitching him a little bit differently. They're not giving him a lot of pitches to be able to swing at, especially in the strike zone. And he has said, that bothered him that first week after it happened. You can see the play, trying to come in on the baseball, slides in there with the glove, twisted his wrist at that point, but he felt that because he was able to get rid of the glove at that point, the extent was not, and the injury wasn't going to be as long-term. Ended up hitting a grand slam in that exact same game, had 4 hits in it. But, he said the first week afterward, no question, if it bothered him. But since that point, it's a lot better. Even having a conversation with Mike Trout, he said it's not an issue. It's all about his timing, and you're going to go through some slumps like that, even though how good he has been throughout his career. Paul Sorrento, Don Ballard, all saying right now it's all about timing, getting that front foot down. He's either open up his stance or close it a little bit to make an adjustment. But getting the timing, getting that foot down, that swing path, so important for Mike Trout.
And of course, it's magnified because it is Mike Trout and the Angels offense, the entire Angels offense, currently in a slump. This afternoon, Mike Scioscia will hand the ball off to Jared Weaver. Josh Tomlin on the mound going for Cleveland.
Yeah, Weaver's throwing the ball very well in his career against Cleveland, especially in this ballpark. And when you think about what he has done since coming back at 4 starts, 2-1 with an ERA under 4. Tomlin is a guy that will give up the home run ball, doesn't give up a lot of hits, but when he's on his game, he's got the good fastball, big curveball, 12-6 break for Tomlin, and he's on his game. He doesn't give up a lot of hits, doesn't walk many batters, but you have to square up his mistakes.
We're going to step away for a moment. When we return, we'll focus in a little bit more on Jared Weaver making the start against the Indians in the getaway day.
Angels baseball is brought to you by the Acura It's That Kind of Summer event. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
on the mound going for the Angels. Very good numbers in his career against Cleveland.
Yeah, he's had good numbers against Cleveland in his career, especially in Progressive Field, where he's been able to work all his pitches. Take a look at our tools in the training, brought to you by Ram Trucks. 7-1 with a 2.24 career ERA in this ballpark going back to last September. Very successful with his fastball up there. It's good velocity, good location that sets up that big swing and miss curveball, excellent changeup, slider. A couple guys in the lineup, including Santana's had success to use that curveball and changeup to get him out here today.
Well, let's see if the Angels can salvage the finale of this 3-game set. We're just about ready for baseball in Cleveland. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return.
Hard in here. It's a warm, muggy afternoon all day, or all morning, I should say. It just rained. It actually rained overnight as well. And there was some concern when we got here with the tarp on the field, but no delays whatsoever. This game will go off without a hitch. Obviously, don't have to worry about the rain, but you do have to worry about the Angels' offense trying to figure things out as they go up against a guy that's just making his fourth start.
Yeah, he's a guy that throws a lot of strikes, so he's around the strike zone, especially with his fastball. So you have to have that attack mode. Think in terms of driving the baseball. Day game is going to carry a little bit better here in Cleveland. So just be aggressive on his fastball today.
Halos took 2 of 3 from the Tigers to open up this road trip. Have lost the first 2 here in Cleveland on Friday night, a 3-1 loss, and then of course last night the 5-run 8th inning giving the Indians an 8-3 lead. So Jared Weaver will be charged trying to right the ship here before the Angels go off and face the Oakland Athletics beginning tomorrow night. And it's always tough with Oakland and their pitching staff as far as scoring runs are concerned. The Angels will have to see what they can do today to try to gain some sort of momentum, and I think that's the biggest stumbling block for this team right now. The fact that they haven't been able to gain any serious momentum. They haven't had a blowout game where they can kind of carry over into the next day and say you can build off of something.
And most teams will always have that game or two where they start feeling that momentum. But it's been a while for the Angels, so maybe they'll be able to catch fire starting today and carry that up there to Oakland. And, of course, that big, tough home series coming up when you got Texas, the Dodgers, and the Astros coming into town.
Oh, it's Family Sunday here on this beautiful day. And, The Indians have taken the field, so we will check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Angels. Very similar looking lineup to what we have seen over the weekend series. And Mike, of course, hamstrung with the roster, with David Freese on the bench and Johnny Giavotella as well. So he's kind of limited as the options that he could put out there. So it's Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. Albert serving as a DH today. David Murphy at left, Cron at first base, Ibarra short. Perez behind the plate, Caleb Coward at third, and Grant Green once again at second base. As they take on a 30-year-old right-hander native of White House, Texas. It's near the Tyler, Texas area. His name is Josh Tomlin.
And Tomlin's fastball, 86-91. Cut fastball, curveball, solid changeup, but a very good curveball for him. But my go-tos against Tomlin today, don't miss a mistake. He's given up 6 home runs in his 19 and a third innings pitched. And fastball first mentality. Just look for that fastball. Between his two-seam and cut fastball will throw. Close to 75% of his pitches will be fastballs. So look for fastballs and look for a mistake with it.
Check out the defense for the Indians this afternoon. Aviles, Almonte, and Chisenhall from left to right. Urshela, Lindor, Kipnis, and Santana from third to first. Perez behind the plate.
Aviles, such a valuable player for Terry Francona to play a number of different positions and playing well. He's played second base, third base, shortstop, left field, and center field. 27 starts out in left field as 1 outfield assist. No errors so far in the outfield for Cleveland.
This game number 130 for the Angels. They stand at a game over 500 now at 65 and 64. 6.5 games back in the West. 2.5 games back now of the Texas Rangers, who hold the second wild card spot. Between the Angels and the Rangers, there's the Minnesota Twins. Cole ready to lead things off for the Angels. Today's first pitch being delivered by the UPS store. First pitch swinging, lines into the alley at left center field. And for the second consecutive game, Cole has led off the game on the first pitch with a hit.
Got a fastball first pitch, down and away. 90-mile-an-hour fastball went with it. See that stride right at the baseball, stayed back, level swing. Good start of the game for as far as Cole Calhoun with that swing to drive that ball to left center field. Cut off well, though, by Almonte to be able to prevent a double from Cole Calhoun.
Last night it was a home run for Cole. He ended up going 1 for 5. He starts this one off with a single, and Trout will step to the plate. Mentioned Tomlin making his 4th start, 2-1, a 3.26 ERA. They check in on Cole. Tomlin had been on the 60-day disabled list, shoulder surgery. He's gone 19 and a third innings, 12 hits, 18 strikeouts, 2 walks. Now 13 hits allowed for the right-hander. 6 have been home runs.
It's a ton of home runs, nearly. It's a 2.8 home runs per 9 innings pitched so far this year for Tomlin. He is very difficult to steal against. In his career, to 6 stolen bases in 13 attempts in his career. Very quick to the plate.
Trout late on the fastball, and it's an 0-1 count. Mike hitting .292 now, still at 33 and 73 as far as home runs and RBIs. 0 for 3 last night with a ground out, 2 fly ball outs, and a walk.
Interesting thing, a swing at the first pitch for Trout. We saw that last night. Coming into this series, it's about 10% of the time Mike Trout has swung at the first pitch. Getting a little more aggressive, especially because pitchers are throwing him a lot of first pitch fastballs because he's been taking a lot of them.
Halos last night managing 6 hits against Cleveland. And they got him at first base. Cole seems to think he got the hand in there. So the Angels will take a look at it. Peter Weevil on the phone.
You can see how difficult it is to try to steal against Tom. Not only quick footwork. Depending on where that tag was on him.
It looked like the hand got in there ahead of the tag.
It did look like it.
Looked like the tag was on the body. Oh. So they must have gotten an angle. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing a definitive. Maybe that's the problem. Not a definitive angle that shows that he got the hand in there, but it looked like the body. That's where the tag was applied, and the hand got there. Trout in the hole at 0-2. You were mentioning Tomlin very good as far as holding base runners.
Especially for a right-handed pitcher who only allowed 6 stolen bases in his career. It's 13 attempts against him. It's only his second career pickoff, but you can see how quick that footwork he has.
One, two off the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tomlin, a 19th round pick in 06 out of Texas Tech. Trout fouls it back.
We call him the little cowboy.
Fifth career start and appearance against the Angels. 1-2 and a 4.50 ERA. Full count.
Good at bat working so far for Trout.
Three-two check swing foul. And that fastball in on the hands.
And one thing you always got to try to look for Trout right now, we talked about that in the opening, is that timing. Getting that foot down, clear it quick enough for a swing path to make good contact on the baseball. The timing has been an issue for Trout.
And that is out toward left center field. Towering shot. Racing back as Almonte pulls up. This one is off the top of the wall. Ricochets away from Almonte. Trout on his way to third. He's going to be stopped there with a triple. 4th of the season for Trout, just missing a home run.
And that was perfect timing of getting that foot down. Good swing for Trout. That baseball gets a little bit further away from Almonte. That would have been real interesting to see. Foot down and then the swing path. Absolute perfect timing for Trout. Oh, so close to getting out of the ballpark. All 3 outfielders converging as quick as possible on that baseball, knowing the speed of Mike Trout. Big at bat here now for Pujols and the Angels to get the job done, get him home.
Albert cuts through the first one, and it's an 0-1 count. Infield playing back for Cleveland. He will give up the run for the out. Trout just missed snapping his 21-game homerless streak, longest streak of his career.
Hyundai key for this team, for the Angels to be successful. Going a little Megadeth. We'll crush them. Looking for that home run ball. We talked about what Tomlin has done so far this year. Trout almost hit a home run, which would have made 7 home runs in less than 20 innings pitched for Tomlin. Need to get the offense rolling.
I like how you said Megadeth.
Yes.
A deep voice on me.
Oh, yeah. Megadeth. Megadeth.
0-2 foul back. Pujols hitting .249. 34 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Albert with an 0-for-4 game yesterday. He's 1 for 8 in the series. Has 3 hits on the road trip, including a 3-run home run. Got Trout standing at third base. Scoreless here in the first. Albert went around. 2 outs. The pitch was never a strike. His struggles with men in scoring position continue. It'll be up to Murphy.
That hard cut fastball has slider type break to it.
David Murphy, the cleanup hitter and left fielder, hitting .292, 8 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Hit his 8th home run last night, his only hit, going 1 for 4. Cole led off the game with a base hit on the very first pitch, got picked off, and Trout tripled. That's where Mike stands now. Murphy with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Murph spent a season and a half here in Cleveland. Had a nice round of applause Friday night right at his first at bat. Fouls this one back. And it's 1-2. David's never faced Tomlin. Two guys at the top of the order have. Cole now 4 for 4 in his career. Trout 3 for 4 against Tomlin.
Opponents coming into the game against Tomlin only hitting 171 against him. Doesn't walk many batters. There's 2 walks this year.
Murphy shoots one out towards center field. Almonte now racing back, and he will step onto the track, make the catch, and the Angels leave a 1-out triple stranded at third. We'll head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Cleveland Indians at 62 and 66 on the season. Jason Kipnis at second base. Francisco Lindor, Jordan Bradley will serve as the DH today. Santana at first, Chisenhall at right, Urshela at third base, Almonte at center, Perez behind the plate. Mike Aviles gets a start today at left field, batting 9th. As Jared Weaver's on the mound, making his 20th start of the season, 6-9 and a 4.59 ERA.
Well, he's throwing the ball well of late, especially that last game where he had to battle his way through to pick up a W. But my go-tos for Weaver against Cleveland, talk about his percentages of pitches thrown this year. Combined, about 57% would be fastballs between two-seam and cut fastball. Curveball, which is very, very effective against this Cleveland lineup. Changeup and slider. Curveball and changeup going to be real big here today for Weaver against Cleveland.
Kipnis looks at a strike. Weaver coming off back-to-back wins against the Sox and the Tigers. That started Comerica to give him 6 runs, 7 hits, and 5 2/3. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kipnis drives one out toward right field. Cole is not going to get there. One hopper off the fence. Kipnis has just picked up his 36th double of the year. Check out the Angels defensively. David Murphy at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right, the infield with Caleb Coward, Eric Ibar, Grant Green, and C.J. Cron around from third to first. Carlos Perez behind the plate.
Weaver, a strikeout fly ball type pitcher. David Murphy out in left field has not made an error in his last 72 games in the outfield, dating back to last August 2nd. As a matter of fact, covers some good ground, has played a number of different outfield positions throughout his career, but settled in with left field with the Angels.
Bunt attempt on the third base line. Coward will pick it up. Foul. No one count on Lindor. Shortstop hitting .312, 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. This one bunted toward third. Perez picks it up, fires to first. The sacrifice advances Kipnis over to third base. So 1 out and a man at third, and Brantley coming up now.
And you would think with a Terry Francona managed club, they wouldn't be doing a whole lot of sacrifice bunting. That's their 40th of the season for Cleveland, which is tops in the American League.
Brantley takes inside, DHing this afternoon. .324 average with 11 home runs, 72 runs batted in. A .348 hitter with men in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Weaver working from the full windup. Kipnis standing at third base. Changeup fouled back. 1-2. Brian Knight calling the balls and strikes today. Vic Carapazzi at first, Adam Hamari at second, Larry Vanover, the crew chief, over at third. Brantley with a 3-hit game last night, 3 singles. 1-2, ripped down the right field line, and Cleveland has a 1-0 lead. Brantley on his way to second. So 2 doubles in the inning. That's 40th of the year for Brantley. Cleveland takes the early lead.
Jumped out and got a slider down and in. Hooks that right down in the corner, and the doubles continue for Cleveland this season. Slider, hard slider, but he was able to use that barrel of the bat and hook it right down the line. 2 extra base hits already for Cleveland in this game.
Here's Santana on .227 average. Takes upstairs. First baseman. 15 home runs, 63 runs batted in. 2 hits last night's game. Cleveland with a total of 12. Won 11 straight games at home with 10 or more hits.
Santana with real good numbers in his career versus Weaver. .522, 12 for 23. Let's see Weaver with a potential pickoff at second at some point. Brantley getting a big lead.
Three balls, no strikes. Lonnie Chisenhall on deck. Lonnie's been swinging the bat well of late. Santana swinging 3-0. Gets an off-speed pitch. It's 3-1. Santana, even though the batting average down low, still will draw his walks, second in the American League in walks with 81. Caught the inside corner. Full count. This one lifts it out toward right center field. Trout dealing with that sunshine, backs up. And now he lost the baseball. Brantley is going to be waved in. The throw comes to Green. The relay to the plate is not in time. 2-0 Indians. Santana ends up at third base.
You can see right off the get-go, Trout had a tough time tracking. He was trying to find a general area where the baseball was. Unable to make that play. And the relay in. Grant Green a little bit further in. You've got to go out a little bit further into the outfield grass at that point. Be able to cut off that angle of the relay throw to have a chance at the plate.
Infield in now. Chisenhall pulls it foul into the dugout. It's a double and an RBI for Santana. Went to third on the throw. So that's 3 doubles in the inning. This one hit over to second. Green has it. 2 outs. Infield back to normal depth with 2 outs here in the first inning, and Giovanni Urshela, the third baseman, up. Urshela skies one foul. The Angels in the top of the first got a single and a triple and did not score a run as Cole Calhoun was picked off. Trout was stranded at third base with 1 out. Pujols struck down and Murphy flied 1 out to center. Cleveland has struck for 2 runs. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Urshela hitting .230, has 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game last night. This one popped up. First base side. Crone calling for it. Foul territory. Makes the catch, inning over, but Cleveland strikes for 2 on 3 hits and leave a man to third. 1 to the second. Angels play from behind. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Tech West State, a strong fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Tomlin takes the mound with a 2-0 lead here in the second. Crone, Ibar, and Perez charged with trying to get 1, if not more, of those runs back. CJ looks at a strike. A couple of hits last night, 2 for 3, double, a single, and a walk. .276 average now. 10 home runs. 29 runs batted in. So fouls that one back.
It's one of those mistakes upstairs that have cost Tomlin the big fly. Right-handed batters hitting .250 against him with 4 home runs. Left-handed batters .119 with 2 home runs.
Reaching for this one and shoots it foul.
What that tells you against right-handed batters, he doesn't necessarily have that go-to pitch. You get a swing and miss. He'll throw his cut fastball, but his curveball is the pitch he likes to throw to lefties.
Crone goes down swinging. There's out number 1. Second strikeout for Tomlin.
Batting 6 for Los Angeles. Number 2, the shortstop, Eric Ibar.
Brings up Ibar. The bottom of the first, not quite the momentum shift that we were hoping for the Angels. Eric looks at a strike. 275 hitter this year. Has 21 doubles, 36 RBIs. A cue shot left side. Urshela has it. 2 outs. Tomlin last year, 25 games, 16 starts, 6-9 with a 4.76 ERA. Ended up having shoulder surgery. His 4th start this year.
There was a lot of strikes. Talked about he's only had 2 walks all year, 6 batters faced, 6 first pitch strikes.
Wrist surgery back in 2013. Cardinals hitting .221, 3-16 as far as home runs and RBIs. Day off last night. Was behind the plate in Friday night's game. Ended up going 0 for 2. Picked up a walk. Fouls this one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez goes down looking, and the Angels go down quietly. We head to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Cleveland.
Angels history. Chuck Finley, Finn the win. 165 career wins. Noel Ryan with 138, but Jerry, we were just behind him at 137. A chance with a victory today to tie the Express on the all-time Angel list as far as W's.
He'll face the bottom third of the order here in the second with Monty Perez and Aviles up. Cleveland struck for 2 runs on 3 doubles in the first inning. One of which was a lost in the sun double.
It's 240 doubles as a team this year now for Cleveland.
Almonte, the center fielder, hitting .257, 21st game with Cleveland. A couple of home runs, 10 RBIs. Doesn't center last night. I don't know, for 4 game. One ball, 2 strikes. Very little breeze blowing here this afternoon. Changeup looped out toward left field. Murphy coming on, dives in, he got it. Nice play by David Murphy, robbing Almonte of a hit. There's out number 1 here in the second.
Good read, and aggressive first step to be able to run that one down. Nice play. David Murphy out in left field. Almonte thinking he's got a chance for a hit there himself. The sliding, diving play by David Murphy. A nice job, Stu, as soon as he caught that baseball, to be able to turn the shoulder, prevent from jamming that wrist.
So 1 out, no ball to Yan. Roberto Perez, the catcher, up. Yan Gomes, the starter, caught the first 2 games of the series. He was the hero last night with the grand slam. Gets the afternoon off. Perez hitting .219, has 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Two balls, 1 strike. Big rip. That's fouled off. 2-2. Full count. Aviles on deck. Payoff on the way. Perez fouls it back, waiting on that slow breaking ball. Angels out on the road now with a 26-37 record with the 2 losses in the first 2 games of the series. That's been an issue pretty much all season long as Perez works the walk here. First one issued by Weaver. We'll bring up Aviles with a man on. Started off the road trip on a good note. Took 2 of 3. They were nearly no hit in Wednesday's game by Justin Verlander. We got the bookend wins. Feel pretty good about the team coming into the weekend series, even though Cleveland's got very good pitching, starting pitching. Bullpen's been very good. Aviles cues it foul.
Well, the pitching for the Angels has been very good also in this series. It's the first walk for Weaver in his last 3 starts. No walks in previous 12 innings. I'll walk today here in a second.
Aviles had to start at center on Friday. Did not play yesterday. He's in left field today. .224 average, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. tried to wait as long as possible. Comes up empty, and it's 1-2. The staff ERA has gone up now. They're 3.88 for the Angels. They were in the top 3, 4, 5 for most of the season. Now they find themselves 8th in the American League. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angels are expected to perhaps get David Freese back as early as tomorrow off the disabled list. Full count. And you've got Tuesday, September 1st. Can expand the roster.
See Weaver's last 2 pitches, both fastballs frustrated. His arm angle. Able to get that in the strike zone.
3-2, and they almost got Perez. Ron wants Dino to take a look at it. High throw. If it's a low throw, they definitely get him. Perez looked like he might be on the move.
Yeah, he was definitely going on that 3-2 count with 1 out.
They tagged him on the helmet.
Looked like it. So she's still looking in at Dino Ebel. Weaver with 2 pickoffs this year, 23 in his career. Larry Vanover's walking in quickly to see Mike Scioscia's going to indeed challenge that. Decides not to.
Full count with 1 out and a man at first. Perez takes off. 3-2 is fouled back. Folks are booing. It's taking so long. They've changed the rules this year to where the manager doesn't even have to leave the dugout, whereas last year the manager would walk out to the first base umpire, stand there, and shoot the breeze with him while they still waited for the guy on the phone to make the decision.
Yeah, this is actually quicker this way.
Perez again takes off, and Aviles takes ball 4. So back-to-back walks to the 8th and 9th place hitters. Puts 2 men on with 1 out, and Kipnis coming up.
Now stepping to the plate for the Tribe, the second baseman,
Kipnis shot a double to the alley in right center in the first inning and scored 1 of the 2 runs. Takes a strike. Double for Kipnis is 36th. He's second in the American League to Brantley, who has 40 now. Good off speed.
So he's on him a slow curve followed by a changeup.
Check swing foul. Perez, the catcher at second base. Aviles over at first. Kipnis hits one out towards center. 2 outs.
Got him out in front of that changeup. Good sequence for Weaver against Kipnis.
So Francisco Lindor now up with 2 on and 2 outs. Lindor had a sac bunt in the first inning. So no official AB for him. No balls and a strike. It was Lindor against Joe Smith last night in the 8th inning that started the rally for Cleveland. Base hit to right field and scored one of the 5 runs. Oh, a 2. That hit him on an 0-2 pitch. So they're loaded up for Bradley.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times from Weaver of late, especially ahead of the count, trying to muscle up a force of fastball in, especially with that no-seam fastball to make sure he doesn't miss out over the plate. So he's trying to force that in instead of trusting that movement to be able to get him out. Freeze him, especially after some off-speed pitches.
8th batter that Weaver has hit this year. And it seems like quite a few of them have been with 2 strikes. Just trying to establish that true seam or no seam fastball in.
Yeah, that's always the most frustrating thing when you're, as a pitcher, when you get ahead of the count 0-2 to hit a batter. If you fight to get to that position, you can throw any number of pitches to be able to get a hitter out.
Now what you want to do, especially to bring this guy to the plate, the way he's put up numbers this year with men in scoring position. Brantley doubled home a run and scored in the first.
Really a key point of the game for Weaver and the Angels right here, even though it's early. Make sure you keep that deficit of 2-0 now. Cannot afford to let that expand here.
Down and in. .46 pitches for Weaver as we play here in the second inning. Back-to-back walks and a hit batter. This one lifted, found out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six of the 8 batters that Weaver has hit this year with 2 strikes. One now. Downstairs. Nice block by Carlos. Two-one to Bradley, and he swings. Skies went out toward right center. Cole calling for it. And the Indians will leave them loaded. 2 complete in Cleveland. Indians on top 2-0. Third inning, the Angels have 8, 9, and 1 coming up, down 2-0. Interesting bottom of the second inning, but nice job by Weaver to get out of it, getting Brantley to sky one to right.
See if the offense can respond back now and get some momentum, especially after a good off-speed pitch by Weaver to get Brantley, who is fantastic with runners in scoring position, very good with the bases loaded, also to fly out.
It's Cowart, Green, and Calhoun for the Angels. Caleb looks at a strike. 156 hitter with a home run, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. 1 for 3 last night with a double and a walk. Started his big league career going 0 for 14, but he's gone 5 for 18 since. And will more than likely be on the bench once David Freese returns to the lineup.
Tell you what, his defense has been outstanding. And the swings, you mentioned that of late, starting to get there. The trust with his hands, tracking the baseball.
Full count. Payoff on the way now. That's out toward left field. That's driven pretty well. Avila's going back and reaches up at the last second and makes the catch. He started to drift on that initially. Cowart is the first out here in the third.
Pretty good power going the other way. Talked about Avila's as far as his defense playing another number of different positions. Reaches up so you get to that warning track in front of the wall. Baseball is definitely carrying a little bit better here in the day.
Green up at the plate. .194 hitter with a couple of runs batted in. No balls, 2 strikes. Called strike 3, 2 outs. 4th strikeout for Tomlin. Today, USA honors all of our service members at home and abroad.
Stepping in for the Angels, the right fielder, Cole Calhoun.
Cole singled to start the ball game on the very first pitch of the game, picked off at first base. Takes a strike.
First changeup we've seen from Tomlin. There's a lot more changeups to left-handed batters. A lot of first pitch strikes, all 10 batters.
0-2. Cole unable to hold up. One ball, 2 strikes. Cole shoots one out toward right center field. Chisenhall is there, and the Angels go down in order. That's 8 in a row, retired by Tomlin. We're heading to the bottom of the third. Cleveland still on top. To remind you, you can join us for German Heritage Night. That's coming up on Friday, and the Texas Rangers in town for the first of 3. Be sure to purchase your German ticket package online to receive a German Angels hat and enjoy pregame entertainment in the Game 1 Music Garden. To purchase your package and for more info, visit angels.com/German. Maybe David Hasselhoff will make an appearance in the Game 1 Music Garden.
Oh, nice.
See, now that's putting together a German Heritage Night.
Yes, it is. That's a good call.
Yeah. Having a DJ spin Hasselhoff records, not so much.
Bring the Knight Rider. Drive up in style.
Was Kit part of the
yes
German fandom? I think it was just Hoff. Santana pops one up on the infield. Caleb Coward coming in, Ibar as well, and Eric takes charge, makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Chisenhall coming up now. Grounded out to Grant Green. No balls, 2 strikes. Indians scored their 2 runs in the first inning. RBI double by Brantley, and then Brantley scored the ball that Trout lost in the sun. This one's pulled down the line, foul. Down goes Chisenhall, first strikeout of the afternoon for Weaver, 2 outs.
Went upstairs with that no-seam fastball. Swing and miss. Chisenhall unable to bring his hands up to make contact. First strikeout of the game for Weaver.
Urshela popped out to Crone to end the first inning. Third baseman's 0 for 1. Breaking pitch, foul back. Starting to get a good feel now. 1-2. Down goes Urshela in a 1-2-3 inning for Weaver. 3 completing Cleveland, 2-0 Indians.
cut fastball from Tomlin. Drives it, almost hits it out of the ballpark, just below the yellow line. Triple for Trout, his 4th of the season.
Trout, Pujols, and Murphy here in the 4th against Tomlin.
See, that's important. The bat, he swung at the first pitch. It forces Tomlin to throw a curveball. Now Trout is ahead of the count here, 1-0.
Fouls this one off, and it evens the count.
Because when you look at numbers historically for hitters, when you're behind the count 0-1 as compared to 1-0, significant difference.
One-two count. Triple for Trout, his 4th. Fortunately, he was stranded at third base in the first inning. Full count. 2 hits allowed by Tomlin, the single by Cole on the first pitch of the game, and the triple by Trout. Retired 8 straight since then. 3-2 back up the middle. It's a base hit. Jammed him enough, but still Mike strong enough to fight it off for a single. So leadoff man on board to start the 4th inning, and Albert coming up.
Make Mike Trout feel good, starting to get a little bit of a roll. Triple. Now, even with a running fastball, still so strong, like you mentioned, Victor, be able to get that through the middle. In a couple full counts, he's worked. A couple really good swings.
Albert struck out in the first inning. That hit Mike. Tell it Santana to catch the ball.
Yeah. Alfredo having a few words too for the both of them.
Albert looks at a strike. Toronto's up 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning against Detroit.
They've had 3 home runs already in the game, including Edwin Encarnacion with another home run. Russell Martin with his 17th home run.
They do realize that the playoffs don't start for another month, right?
Yeah, we keep thinking they're going to slow down at some point, but they haven't.
I know. They better hope they keep it rolling for another month. They've just flat out mashed everybody of late.
They've scored 100 more runs than any other team in the American League.
Albert fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes. Albert 0 for 4 in his career against Tomlin. That includes the strikeout in the first.
It's an Encarnacion 25-game hit streak. You're pretty much exhausted, but by the time you get to him, when you're a pitcher, you're with Tulowitzki, Donaldson, Bautista.
No balls, 2 strikes on Albert. Nobody out. Trout with a leadoff single over at first. Albert skies one out toward deep left field. Playable for Aviles. 1 out.
Stepping to the plate for Los Angeles.
I think Albert just missed that one.
So 1 out, 1 on, and Murphy coming up. David hit one out to center field in the first innings. He's 0 for 1. Other scores: Kansas City leading Tampa Bay 2-1 in the third. Mets leading the Red Sox 1-0. Boston won the first 2 games in that series. Houston at Minnesota just underway. Baltimore at Texas a little bit later on. Here it's 2-0 Cleveland. They scored their 2 runs in the first inning, 3 doubles.
And not overpowering with his fastball, Tomlin. 88 to 91, maybe 92. But he cuts it, locates it well. You're just looking for that one mistake, though. You mentioned coming into the game, he's given up quite a few home runs for the amount of innings pitched.
Paying a lot of attention to Trout. Mike still with 10 stolen bases on the year. Been caught the last couple of times attempting to steal.
Looking at him, he's kind of shortened up his lead a little bit.
One ball, 2 strikes. Trout getting his practice in over at first base, so diving in head first.
Boy, Tomlin's really slowed down the pace this inning.
Breaking pitch, cued foul. Urshela not going to get there. It's still at 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's almost slowed the pace down. Makes you believe that the Indians are down 2-0 as opposed to being on top 2-0.
That's the point. If it's 1-0, even though, you know, Cleveland up here, I mean, if it's 1-0, maybe. But still, in this term, you're thinking of an out. You already have 1 out in this inning. To slow down at this point, and it hurts your defenders behind you. The Angels have not run a lot of this 39 stolen bases as a team.
Second and last in the American League, that category. Murphy spoils another one. It's still at 1-2. Angels heading to Oakland after this one. They will face a left-hander tomorrow night, Felix Dubron. And back-to-back righties, Chris Bassett, Sonny Gray on the getaway day on Wednesday. Angels will counter with Santiago, Shoemaker, and Heaney. Crone on deck. Murphy strikes out, swing, 2 outs.
Now stepping in for Los Angeles, the first baseman, C.J. Crone.
Crone, a strikeout victim in the second. He swings at this guy, went out to right field, playable for Chisenhall. He backs up a little bit. And that leadoff single stranded at first base. Well, at the bottom of the fourth, Cleveland on top 2-0. Names in the UFC will face off as coaches as interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber join an all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem begins Wednesday, September 9th, only on Fox Sports 1. 2-0 Cleveland, bottom of the fourth inning. And it's the bottom third of the order coming up to face Jared Weaver, who's coming off a 1-2-3 third. First time this afternoon that he's retired the sign-in order. He'll face Almonte, Perez, and Aviles. Weaver with 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 3 hits allowed. All 3 of those hits in the first inning. Almonte 0 for 1. He hit a fly ball to left field in his first at bat. Pulls a bunt toward first base. Crone's got it. Feeds Green, and Green a little bit late getting there. And it's an infield base hit for Abraham Almonte.
And this is a play where Grant, as soon as that ball is bunted on the ground, he's got to be breaking towards first. That's the only play you're going to have. C.J. Crone played well. Just a little bit late getting there. With being a base hit for Almonte. Getting that footwork down as a second baseman for Grant Green.
Roberto Perez, the catcher today for Cleveland, drew a walk in his first plate appearance. No balls and a strike. Good breaking pitch. Good lead for Almonte over at first. Perez bunts one on the third base side. Carlos has it. Sacrifice will advance Almonte to second.
He thought about going to second. He got quickly out of his catching position, Carlos Perez, and ends up making the throw to the first base. And another sacrifice bunt for Cleveland.
Avila's the left fielder, drew a walk in the second. Breaking pitch, fouls it off. Bayless originally coming up with the Royals 7th round pick by Kansas City in 03. Breaking pitch hammered down the left field line, but that's foul. 0-2. Now his 3rd season with Cleveland. Pickoff attempt, low throw, dug out by Green. One ball, 2 strikes.
It looks like Almonte's trying to time Weaver. Get a walking lead.
This one flipped down toward right field. Not very deep, so Cole has to race in. He'll make the basket catch. 2 outs. There's a hot upcoming schedule for the Angels. Mentioned they're off to Oakland. Santiago Shoemaker Heaney against Dubron, Bassett, and Gray.
Wednesday afternoon game with Sonny Gray. 12-game winner. Drew Heaney. Standing pitching matchup. Sonny Gray's thrown the ball exceptionally well against the Angels in his career.
A couple of lefties tomorrow night. The Angels really, if you look at the numbers, while they have struggled overall, it's just .232 against left-handers this year. There's Jason Kipnis. He will look at a strike. Kipnis 1 for 2 with a double and a fly ball to center. This one lifted out towards shallow left center field. Murphy and Trout. It's Trout calling for it. Inning over. Leadoff single, stranded in scoring position. We hit in the 5th. The Angels down 2-0. EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse. More live channels on the go than cable.
And by Subaru. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester or go to Subaru.com to learn more.
Ibar Perez Coward for the Angels here in the 5th inning against Josh Tomlin. Indians up 2-0. Tomlin with 5 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed. Eric 0 for 1 as he grounded out to the third baseman in the 2nd inning. .59 pitches thrown by Tomlin. 44 strikes. Two and one. Urshela playing in over at third base as Ibar bounces this one. A diving stop by Santana at first. Tomlin covering, one down.
Well, Santana's showing some good range and a good feed over to Tomlin at first base. And a couple nice defensive plays Cleveland already in this game. That baseball was destined to be in that outfield grass. So a good prep step, dives, and a good feed over to Tomlin.
There's Carlos Perez, who struck out looking in the 2nd. Behind at the count at 0-1 now.
Faced 16 batters, 13 first pitch strikes.
Carlos rolls this one over to Urshela. 2 down.
Now stepping into the Angels, number 41, Caleb Coward.
Caleb Coward 0 for 1. Almost drove one over the head of Aviles leading off the 3rd inning. Mike was able to track it down. Just tell the body language so different for Tomlin against basically 5 through 9 compared to top guys in the order. Hanover brings up Coward 0-2.
A little more aggressive. Well, completely different as far as the 2 right-handed pitchers. Tomlin starting on the first base side of the pitching rubber. Weaver on the third base side. The reason why a lot of times when you're a right-handed pitcher on that first base side is because you have had problems in your career getting the fastball inside against left-handed batters. That's why he's moved over to this side of the rubber.
Breaking pitch, and Coward goes down swinging. Another 1-2-3 inning for Tomlin. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Indians with 2, 3, and 4 coming up. They're still up. retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Lindor, Bradley, and Santana to face Jared Weaver here in the 5th inning. Jared has settled down nicely. Really should be more than likely a 1-0 game instead of 2-0 because of the drop fly ball in right center. Got a little bit of a hiccup in the second, walked the 8th and 9th place hitters, then hit Lindor with 2 outs. Got Brantley to Sky, went out to right field. Aside from that, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, Weaver's been very good as far as first pitch strikes himself. He's faced 20 batters, 15 of them. So for a first pitch strike.
Little looper towards short, and timing the lead perfectly is Eric Ibar for the first down.
Eric's made a lot of great defensive plays in this series. Jammed him. Lindor thought he might have flared that one into the outfield, but Eric Ibar with the hops makes an outstanding play.
Bradley an RBI double in the first and a fly ball right in the second, so he's 1 for 2. Two balls, no strikes. 74th pitch of the game for Jared. 51 strikes, 2 punch outs, 2 walks, 1 hit batter. 4 hits allowed. He's really quick on that inside pitch. Whether it's Weaver or anybody else.
Yeah, he brings his hands inside very well. Still gets the barrel of the bat on the baseball. By being so quick inside, you would think he'd be susceptible to Weaver's changeup down and away.
3 balls, 1 strike. Michael, the son of former big leaguer Mickey Brantley. You face him?
Yes.
Did he get you?
I don't think so. No home runs.
Full count.
Is that changeup away?
Santana on deck. 1 out here in the 5th. 2 runs for Cleveland occurring in the 1st inning. Line to center and a base hit.
That curveball he stayed back on. Reason why he timed that well was because changeup followed by a curveball. He was able to track the ball a little bit better and hit that ball up the middle. So he stayed back, even though he was fooled initially, but stayed back with his hands long enough to shoot that one up the middle.
Brantley with 14 stolen bases has been caught once. Cleveland 6th in the American League. Brantley takes off. Santana hits one out to deep right. Brantley couldn't find the baseball, and neither can Cole Calhoun. It falls in. Brantley turns, heads to third, Santana to second. They had fooled Brantley. Ibar had, where he was just standing at second base, but then Cole couldn't come up with a baseball. And that's his second one that has fallen in this afternoon.
Boy, Ibar had Brantley standing right at second base. You see him trying to struggle to try to find the baseball. Unable to do so. And Brantley then finally is going back towards first and then has to go back around, especially with Santana right behind him.
That is the second double Santana has picked up because an outfielder has dropped the baseball. It's not seated. Mike Scioscia coming out. This is a cooling off period here.
You don't see that too often when Mike Scioscia comes out. I think that's more of a situation where Scioscia comes out, hey, you're doing your job. Just try to get through this inning. Limit the damage.
They're going to intentionally walk Chisenhall here as well, with the rookie Urshela on deck, right-handed batter. It's one thing to get knocked around as a pitcher. You just say, didn't have it, mislocation all day. They squared up baseball, but so far, to look back at the first inning and look how this is playing out here in the fifth, you hope that he can throw a ground ball double play, get out of it, and limit the damage. But unfortunately for the Angels, we've seen way too much of this over the last week to 10 days.
It gets magnified when you're not scoring runs. And last year you were scoring runs in bunches. If that happened, just move on.
We've seen this happen here before. Was it Torrey Hunter on an Urban Santana game, right? Lost the ball in right field.
See him still struggling. It's a very bright sky, but there's enough clouds around a little bit to be able to lose it up in the sky.
Infield back, looking for the double play. Urshela, the third baseman, swings the first one and fouls it back. He's 0 for 2 so far today with a pop-up and a strikeout.
He has rolled into 9 of them.
Brantley with good speed at third base. Santana at second. Now Chisenhall at first. It's the second time that Weaver's had a bases loaded situation. The other was in the second inning with 2 outs. He got a fly ball out. Urshela pops this one up. Should be playable for Cron into foul territory, and he'll make the catch. 2 down.
His job of turning his body too. That's what you got to try to do sometimes when you're trying to field a pop-up or a fly ball. Just kind of turn your body to get different angle to be able to see the baseball through the sunshine. Well played by C.J. Cron.
First one to Almonte, in for a strike. Center fielder bunted his way on in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. This has been an issue for Cleveland all year, with the exception, of course, being the grand slam last night by Yan Gomes. They came into the series at just 167 with the bases loaded. Trying to work his way out of it. 1-1, skied high and deep to right center field, and it is 6-0 Cleveland. Almonte with his first career grand slam, his 3rd home run as an Indian. Cleveland has opened it up here in the 5th.
Yan Gomes got his first career grand slam last night. It's that no-seam fastball. Kind of runs out just enough for the plate. Almonte to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball and hits it out. Where the baseball's carrying here today.
Perez with a walk and a sac bunt. No official AB for him. 0-2, so that drop fly ball does come back to haunt. Check swing, roller foul. Count remains at 0-2. Breaking pitch out toward right. This will chase Cole back. And with his feet on the track, makes the catch, and the inning is over, but not before Cleveland expands its lead on the slam by Almonte. We head to the 6th. The Angels now down 6-0.
Well, with a good swing, but Mike Trout triples off the wall. He has 2 hits in this game, not scored. Then Cleveland, Brantley down the right field line, doubles, forced Kipnis to a double, and a double by Santana, lost in the sun, falls by Mike Trout, another run scores, and then Almonte, with the bases loaded, hits his first career grand slam. Cleveland leads this game 6-0.
9-1-2 for the Angels here against Tomlin. Green, Calhoun, and Trout. 6 strikeouts for the right-hander. Green skies one out toward left center field. That ball's hit pretty well. Almonte back at the wall. This one is gone. A big fly for Grant Green, his first of the year, as the Angels get one of those runs back, and it's 6-1 Cleveland.
Went inside with a cut fastball. Grant Green turns on it. First extra base hit, first home run. Good swing there from Grant Green. 7th home run allowed by Tomlin this season.
Cole bounces this one to the right side. Kipnis has it. 1 down.
Stepping in for the Angels, number 27, Mike Trout.
3rd career home run for Grant Green. His 108th game. Drove that one very well, inner part of the plate.
Trout 2 for 2 with a triple and a single. The 7th home run Tomlin has allowed now. This being his 4th start.
Let's go back to my Hyundai key for this game. Crush him. Saw that from Grant Green. Trout almost homered himself in the first. 2-hit performance so far for Trout.
Three balls, one strike. Six-one Cleveland here in the sixth. That is pulled to left. Headed to the wall. Cut off by Aviles. Trout on his way to second, and now a home run shy of the cycle. Everybody done talking about his wrist now?
All over. He said it was all about the timing. He certainly has that timing, getting that foot down and then a swing path. Perfect timing on that swing for Trout, right down to that left field corner. Cut off well by Aviles, but not going to throw out. Mike Trout.
24th double of the year. So he tripled in the first, singled in the fourth, doubled here in the sixth inning. 5 hits allowed by Tomlin. Here's Albert, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to left. One 0. One ball, one strike. 77 pitches for Tomlin. Mentioned his 4th start coming off the DL. Right shoulder surgery, so they are watching his innings and pitch count still. McAllister getting ready now in the pen for Cleveland. Albert breaks his bat and hits one out to center. 2 down. The barrel sticking out of the grass on the third base side. Like a javelin.
Cut fastball away. Towards the end of the bat, and you see how the bat just tumbles and eventually sticks into that grass in the infield by third base.
David Murphy, a fly ball to center to strikeout. Caught the outside corner to even the count. Green with a leadoff home run to start the 6th inning. Trout with a 1-out double. Still standing in scoring position. Halo's 0 for 3 with men in scoring position this afternoon. Murphy lifts one out toward left field. Aviles moving back into his left. Will put it away, and that double stranded in scoring position. The Angels do get on the board on Greg Green's first extra base hit of the year. It's 6-1 Cleveland as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-1 Cleveland here, the bottom of the 6th inning. Hey, join us for Filipino Heritage Night Saturday. The Angels take on the Rangers in Game 2 of that 3-game set. That's a 6:05 start. Be sure to purchase your Filipino package online and receive a Filipino Angels hat and enjoy pregame entertainment at the Game 1 Music Garden. To get that package and for more info, just go to angels.com/Filipino. Vila's popping this one up to C.J. Cron. First baseman backs up. 1 down. Vilas now 0 for 2 with a walk.
Vilas have been 4 for 10 in his career versus Weaver.
Now stepping into the drive, the second baseman, Jackson Chapman.
Oh, 2 count on Kipnis, the leadoff man, who's 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the first. .98 pitches thrown by Weaver. Alvarez getting ready to pen now. Little dribbler right side. Weaver will pick it up. Little glove flip to Cron. 2 down. Yeah, that looks like such an easy play. Sometimes you may not even know where the ball comes out of the glove or how it comes out because it can hit any part of that glove.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times you'll see a pitcher when they do that, you at least try to get to the throwing hand, the flip it over underhand type throw to the first baseman. But out of the glove, it's difficult.
Gets the out. Base is clear. And Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, up. He swings and drives one out toward right center field. Trout has to hustle to cut it off. Does so. Lindor with good speed over to second with yet another double for Cleveland.
Stayed back on that one well. Change up. Right center field. His 13th double of the season.
Intentional walk here to Bradley. Second one issued by Jarrett. Santana is on deck. This may just be Weaver's last batter with Alvarez ready to go. They'll spin Santana around. There's the walk. Weaver's going to face Janum. 2 doubles and a pop-up, and those doubles in quotation marks. Those are the 2 drop fly balls. One at right center, the other one at right.
14 for 26 in his career versus Weaver.
Oh, at 1. Santana's hit better from the left side by about 30 points. I'm sorry, from the right side, 247. On the left side, he's hit 216. One ball, 1 strike.
And 106 pitches thrown today for Weaver. 72 of them have been strikes. Well, I mean, think about it. It should be a 1-1 game at this point.
And that almost hits him. Wild pitch will advance the base runners. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Tana pulls one toward the shift, beats Green and into right field. 1 run in. The throw from Calhoun is up the line. Perez fires the second, and they have Santana to run down, but the damage is done. 2 runs across for Cleveland. We head to the 7th. The Angels now trailing 8-1.
How much you can save. By USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. And by Hyundai, the summer clearance is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
And Cleveland swinging the bat well today. 8-1 lead over the Angels here in the top of the 7th. C.J. Cron going to lead off the inning. Tomlin still in the game for Cleveland. Give up a home run last inning and a double to Trout. So far has been very solid. Just 5 hits allowed and 1 run into the 7th inning.
C.J. Cron leading things off. We'll look at a strike from Tomlin. Cron 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Oh, 2. 6 strikeouts, no walks for the right-hander. 5 hits allowed. Cron goes down swinging for the first down here in the 7th.
Stepping to the plate for Los Angeles, shortstop Eric Ibar.
The only time that Tomlin has faced more than 4 batters in an inning was last inning. Angels getting 2 hits in that frame. That has been it. Angels offense quiet once again. Ibar 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Shoots this one down the line, slicing out of play. Oh, 2 now. Watch out. It was up and in.
Looking at over the plate. Right up and in around shoulder high. Fortunate enough for Eric Ibar, he was able to get out of the way of that fastball up and in.
Ibar foul tips out into the glove. 2 outs. Back-to-back strikeouts for Towlin. Freeway Series returns to the Big A on Monday, September the 7th. That's Labor Day. And Angels hosting the Dodgers for a 3-game set. That's a 6:05 start on that Monday. Get your tickets at the stadium box office, or you can do so online. Carlos 0 for 2 with a strike on the ground out. This one hit towards short. One hopper. The ball took a wicked hop. Lindor throws out Perez. The Angels go down very quietly here in the 7th. Stretch time in Cleveland. All Indians today. Indians on top 8-1. Stick around right after the game for Angels Live postgame presented by your Southern California Mazda dealers. Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound for the Angels here in the 7th inning, replacing Jared Weaver. Went 6 innings, 9 hits, one of which was the home run, the grand slam. 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 intentional. 8 runs charged to Weaver. Sorry, in and out. Who's in? Who's out? Alvarez pitching in his 46th game, 3-3 record, a 3.81 ERA, 54 and a third innings, 49 strikeouts, 19 walks.
Well, you're going to look at the box score tomorrow and look at Weaver's line. You're going to think he didn't pitch real well, but that could have been a completely different box score. Some things had gone his way, especially some fly balls that were lost in the sun.
Indians here in the 7th have Chisenhall, Urshela, and Almonte coming up. Lefty, right-hander, and a switch hitter. Looks like we get Jerry Sands here pinch hitting for Chisenhall. Chisenhall finishes the afternoon going 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored. stands on the season. 232, 31 games. A couple of home runs, 13 runs batted in. He's 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter. Grounds this one over to first. One down. It's been busy today.
Now at the plate for the Tribe, number 39, Giovanni Urshela.
Urshela comes up now. Third baseman 0 for 3. Cleveland scoring twice in the first inning, 4 runs in the fifth, and added 2 more in the 6th inning. Santana base hit. 3 RBI game for Santana with 3 hits. It's down and in. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Minnesota leading the Houston Astros 1-0 that game in the third. The Orioles and the Rangers just underway down in Arlington. No score. Kansas City and the Rays tied at 2. Red Sox and Mets tied at 4. Toronto still leading the Tigers 6-2 as Urshela goes down swinging for round number 2. To bring up Abraham Almonte, switching to center field.
And here's the top tier play of the game brought to you by Arco with the bases loaded. Almonte got a pitch out over the plate. His first career grand slam. Difference maker in this game with that one swing.
Spins around to hit from the right side now. 2 for 3 today. His 3rd home run as an Indian. 21st game with Cleveland now. A bouncer on the third base side. Alvarez off the mound. A little bit of a bobble, but still throws him out in a 1-2-3 inning for Jose. We head to the 8th. The Angels down 8-1. Tweet us your strongest fan photo to hashtag West State of Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. As we start the 8th inning. Tomlin back out on the mound. He's got 8, 9, and 1 here in the 8th. Coward, Green, and Calhoun. Jerry stays the game, plays right field. Pinch hit for Chisenhall. Caleb Cowart so far today 0 for 2. Fly ball to left and a strikeout. Eight strikeouts for Tomlin, no walks, and 5 hits allowed. Oh, 2. Looks like Cesar Ramos will pitch the bottom of the 8th. A 1-2 count. Full count now. .95 pitches now for Tomlin. Cowart pulls one through the right side, a base hit. So leadoff single for Caleb. We'll bring up Grant Green. Here comes Terry Francona. That may be all for Tomlin at 96 pitches. And that is it for the right-hander. 4th start of the year after right shoulder surgery. McAllister will be called upon here. Tomlin will depart with an 8-1 lead, and he will leave to a nice round of applause. A pitching change here in the 8th. Walks. He will depart with a man at first base with 96 pitches. As McAllister takes over on the mound here. Zach pitching his 50th game, 3-4 record and a 3.12 earned run average, 73 strikeouts and 57 and 2/3 innings.
Well, he's really adapted to that bullpen role. Average fastball now out of the bullpen, 92 to 97. Slider, curve, split finger fastball.
Grant Green 1 for 2. Strikeout and solo home run in the 6th inning. McAllister originally in the Yankee system, 3rd round pick in 06. 27-year-old. Delivers the first one. It's a fastball. Gets away from Perez. So Coward will advance to second. It's a pass ball on Perez. McAllister, former starter, has been exclusively used out of the bullpen. Actually, one start this year. The bullpen piece. He was the player to be named later in the Austin Kearns deal several years ago. Austin going from Cleveland to New York. 1-0 pitch. 95-mile-per-hour fastball evens the count up. Cole Calhoun on deck, then Trout.
If that swing, that last swing, last at bat for Grant Green, get him rolling now.
Two and one. It's a big arm. A big guy. 6'6", 240.
His average fastball, according to Fangraphs, when he's a starter, is around 92. Now it's at 90, little over 95 miles per hour. He's going that one, maybe 2 innings out of the bullpen.
Two balls, 2 strikes. One down. Grant goes down swinging. He's just trying to punch the ball to right field. Here's Cole, who's 1 for 3 with a single in the first. Led off the game with a base hit to left center. First pitch of the game. Got picked off ahead of the Trout triple. Two balls, no strikes. Coward leading off this 8th inning with a base hit to right. 6th hit for the Angels. Cleveland with 9. That is pulled foul. 2-1. That's getting it started against a good fastball. A little early.
Have to. Life on that fastball also.
Two and two. This time he stays away from him with that fastball. Nothing he can do but just foul it off. Cole rips one to right, a base hit. Caleb is going to be stopped at third. Sands' throw sails over Santana's head. It's cut off by Perez. So the Angels have runners at first and third with 1 out and Trout coming up. He's a home run shy of the cycle.
Certainly some good swings at the top of the order between Calhoun and Trout.
Well, he's gone 21 games without a home run. Longest drought of his career. That's exactly what he needs to complete the second cycle of his really fabulous start to his career. A 3-hit game, triple in the first, single in the fourth, a double in the sixth.
Needed a home run that last time to complete the cycle.
Hit it out to right center field at the Big A. The pitch that was down and in. That jam flares went out to right field. Sands is coming on, and that'll fall in there for a hit. Scoring is Coward. So it's a hit for Mike Trout. His fourth of the game, picks up his 74th run batted in. It's 8-2 Cleveland.
It's a good sign when you see Trout, even when he's getting jammed now, able to get some hits. He had a home run in his career versus McAllister, 2 for 5. Now make that 3 for 6 in his career versus him.
That run gets charged to Tomlin, so he's done now. The book on him anyway. 2 runs in 7 innings, 6 hits. Albert looks at a strike. Pujols hitless. A strikeout and 2 fly ball outs. Trout picking up his 12th career 4-hit game. Second of the season. The other was on July 26th when he rolled the wrist. 2 on and 1 out. Albert bounces with foul, 0-2.
Good numbers for Albert versus McAllister, also 3 for 6 with a home run.
Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes.
Albert talking to himself, trying to force himself to stay back. They're going away with pitches to serve that ball in the right field.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that pitch off the strike zone. Perez tried to bring that back. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, about a baseball off the outside corner.
Pujols, a little chopper to the left side. Lindor comes in, is only placed to first. 2 outs. Calhoun to third, Trout to second. And it's up to David Murphy coming up now.
For Los Angeles, now stepping in, left fielder David Murphy.
Murphy 0 for 3, a couple of fly ball outs and a strikeout himself. 8-2 Cleveland here in the 8th. Ramos will pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. Cleveland has 8, 9, and 1 coming up. David yanks with foul. most batters the Angels have sent up in any one inning today. After being the 6th. 0-2. Back inside with a fastball. One and two. Caleb Cowart started things off with a base hit. After Green struck out, Calhoun to Trout with base hits. Trout picking up the RBI. The 1-2 to Murphy. He chops this one over to first. Santana has it. And the Angels are done here in the 8th. They do get a run as we head to the bottom of the inning. 8-2 Cleveland. This weekend as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Cesar Ramos takes over the mound. Jose Alvarez had himself a 1-2-3-7. Ramos will pitch here against Perez, Aviles, and Kipnis. 52nd game, 2-1 mark. And a 2.03 earned run average. The way you wanted things to unfold for the Angels on this getaway day, especially having lost the first 2 games of the series. They won the first series on this road trip. They already lost this one, but on the verge of getting swept, barring a miracle in the 9th inning. And I guess you could say anything could happen. We've seen it happen already this year a couple times. But this team lacking a spark, something. Just have not been able to figure it out, especially in the month of August. They are 10-17 on the verge of going 10-18 in August, with one more day to play this month before the calendar turns to September. The thing that stands out too, Gooby, is the fact that they're doing it to themselves. I mean, they still are right there when you start thinking about the wild card, and even the outside, now the West, considering you're 6.5 back going into today. You know, they've, even with as poor a month as this has been for this Angels team, they are still right there, but still just you don't sense that urgency. You don't sense that spark that you're looking for to kind of gain some momentum. And when you do, you see some couple of steps forward. All of a sudden, you take 3 or 4 steps backwards. This one's bounced over to Ibar. Perez, the first down here in the 8th.
Yeah, you're basically just a winning streak away from all of a sudden you're right back in that talk and conversation for the postseason. And we've seen over the last number of seasons, it doesn't matter how you get there, it's getting into the postseason and then get on a run at that point. You still have to put all 3 phases back together. The starting staff and Weaver, again, it's going to look bad as far as his line score in this game, but he threw the ball a lot better than what the final score is going to be for Weaver. And the pitching staff in general has thrown the ball better. Defense has got to play a little bit better, more consistent, and the offense certainly has to do the same. But you're still, like you said, Victor, you're only a good swing or 2 away. All of a sudden you get momentum, start winning some games, and all of a sudden you're going to be back in that conversation. But not until you start playing better baseball can you think in terms of when this team will get into one of those streaks.
Look, we're the first ones to admit that we're the eyes and ears of the franchise, along with Terry and Mark. And we'd be the first one to tell you that we're sensing this or we're seeing that. We haven't. I mean, that's the truth. We really have not seen it, especially over the last 10 games. It's just been, unfortunately for the Angels, bad baseball all the way around. But that said, it's not like we're trying to prop something up. That said, there are 32 games after today. I mean, what you do with those 32 games, we shall see. Who knows? But all it takes is one game to try to turn things around and then kind of build off of that. But collectively, this team just has not been able to get it going. The exception being that good stretch that they had right before and right after the All-Star break. And that was a collective effort. That wasn't just one guy or 2 guys on the offensive side of things, because the pitching for the most part was pretty consistent up until that point.
I mean, that was everybody swinging the bat well. Started down there in Texas, carried over to Colorado, had a real good 4-game set up in Seattle against some very good pitching, split that series. Then the All-Star break and followed it up with some good baseball afterwards. The stretch you're in right now, though, it's up to those guys in the clubhouse today after the game to have that conversation. As a coaching staff, you can put your guys in position to do well, but as the players, you have to go out there and perform with that sense of urgency. Remember when Clayton Kershaw said that the other day after they lost the Dodgers just before they went to Cincinnati. He called out his team that we got to have a sense of urgency. Well, the Dodgers have turned it around. It's going to be up to the Angels at this point to do the same.
Little flare on the third base side, foul. I think the Dodgers gone 5-0 since then. Go back to when Houston Street had his comments, talked about that sense of urgency. There's a point counterpoint to that argument too from an Angels player, saying that you don't want to feel a sense of urgency. It puts too much pressure on you.
At this point, you need to put pressure on yourself as an individual to help the team win games, win innings, win battles at the plate.
Crone fires wildly towards second base. Aviles is going to take third on what looked to be perhaps an inning-ending double play. It's a fielder's choice and an error on Crone, his 4th of the year.
He missed a high throw, got underneath, dropped his elbow. And a high throw to Eric Ibar over his head. First error of the game for the Angels.
Now Lindor spins around to hit from the right side. 1-for-2 game for him. He's had a sac bunt and been hit by a pitch as he fouls this one off. In Indians again with 10 hits in a home game. 12th consecutive game in which they've had 10 or more hits. First time a major league team has done that since the 2002 Rangers. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes.
And this is for a club there. The conversation was they're struggling mightily for the most part this season offensively. Picked up Brandon Moss to be able to provide some power. That didn't work out. Let's move to St. Louis.
One, two. Lindor bouncer back to the mound. Ramos goes to second for 1, and they don't turn the double play.
That's
the run scores.
As a pitcher, you feel that ball look where the man is at third base. You're not going to be able to turn 2 with Lindor running down the line. It's all about that presence when you're on that pitching mound. See right here. Vilas reads it. He's going home. But if Ramos looks that way, they have a play at the plate.
9-2 now here in the 8th. Brantley, the DH today, takes a strike. 2 for 3 with a double, a single. Intentional walk, 3 runs scored. Over to short. Ibar has it. We end of the 9th. The Angels have Crow and Ibar and Perez coming up, down 9-2. Austin Adams, or Adams Austin, I should say. Austin Adams, I misspoke. Looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Got dyslexic here tonight. 22nd game, 2-0 record, a 3.76 ERA. Takes over for McAllister.
Gonna be a little while. 12 walks this season.
Jose Ramirez takes over at second base for Kipnis. The Angels have Crone, Ibar, Perez coming up against the right-handed. He's been up and down this year with AAA. The Indians' 5th stint. Recalled the last time on June 23rd. Cron 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to right field. One ball, one strike. McAllister went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 strikeout. The inherited runner got charged to Tomlin, who allowed 2 runs, 7 innings, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts. This will line to center. It's a leadoff single for CJ.
Stepping in for Los Angeles, shortstop Eric Ibar.
Ibar 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Big rip at that first one.
Adams certainly bringing it up there with his fastball. That one at 97. What a few power arms out of the bullpen for Cleveland.
Eric shoots one out to center field. Almonte comes in. 1 out.
Almonte's had a big series. Came off the bench, that big pinch hit. And then the grand slam today.
2 runs in the first inning for Cleveland, 4 in the 5th, and then 2 more in the 6th inning. Added their 9th run in the 8th. Carlos fouling off the first one, 0 for 3. Strikeout and 2 ground outs. Oh, 2 count. Hector Santiago and Felix Duprat tomorrow night, Coliseum in Oakland. First of 3, 6:30 Angels Live pregame show. First pitch at 7:05.
Pretty good fastball at 98.
Two outs. The Angels down to the last out here. On the verge of getting swept in Cleveland. And a 2-4 start to the 9-game road trip. Caleb Coward at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Singled and scored, leading off the 8th. Hits this one to second base. Ramirez throws out Coward, and the Angels get swept in Cleveland. The final today, 9-2.
Boy, what a tough game once again. Almonte with a grand slam, his first of his career. We saw Yan Gomes with a grand slam last night, the first of his career. His Cleveland club, double figures in hits once again, and the doubles machine pulled this one out 9-2, as Weaver deserved a little bit better what that final score is going to look like.
Weaver ends up taking the loss. Tomlin picks up the victory. No save today. 9-2 the final. Stick around. Angels Live post game is coming up next.